Such a professional intro. I hit start like 30 seconds ago and I didn't know when it was going to start, so clearly when I yawned I had to. So I have had a request to go over draft deck. That or at least draft decks, since I won't be doing much more online since they're kind of expensive and I prefer to play with paper Magic over online. So you probably won't be seeing many more drafts on my channel, but we'll roll with it. Maybe people sponsor it, or there's like a huge demand. Maybe I'll do some cube from there, but maybe I'll start recording my own cube. Anyway, so I have my deck, which I will preface as this deck is stupidly good. It was a pool of 6, and I was against people that really didn't know how to draft, I think. At least one person really did, everyone else not so much. And the reason for this is the following. Pack 1, pick 1, I opened up a pack with... It was a pretty stacked pack. It had a Hussar Patrol, Stab Wound, the Ultimate Price, and the rare was the Mythic World Spine Worm. So I took the Stab Wound, because I think it was the most, or probably the best out of those. I was torn. Oh, there was also the Hellhole Flare as well. It's very, very stacked. There were like 9 to 10 playables in it. So I took the Stab Wound trying to stay open. Pack 2, I got past a Wild Beastmaster. So I took that because if you can build around it, so I was thinking a Golgari Scavenge deck. Pack 3, the pack was pretty empty except for an Annihilating Fire, so I took that. Because when you're in your first early picks of a draft, you want to just take good cards, not just you want to take the best card. You don't want to force yourself into a color. And this comes even more true when 4th pick in a pool of 6, I got passed to me an Azorius Charm, which is very, very powerful. At that point, I'm like, Azorius is probably open. And it was, because the next pick, I believe I had a Hussar Patrol. No, I had a new Prov Guildmage was the next pick. So, 5th pick new Prov Guildmage was a signal that Azorius was open. I'm trying to explain my reasoning behind the draft itself since I can't actually explain it when I'm online. So I'm trying to explain this. So I was like, okay, Azorius is here. So starting there, I started to cut Azorius. And it did sort of work out that I was the only Azorius player at the table. So in a pool of 6, I creamed. I went 3-0. Only had one time which I had trouble, which I was mana screwed for a little bit. But I'm just going to quickly over my deck and just mention a few things. First thing, Avenging Arrow. For some reason, I got this 15th pick. This is wrong. So what I'm trying to say is I'm attributing to this 3-0 not because I knew how to draft, because I just... The only point of skill during the drafting portion was knowing to jump into Azorius. And seeing that I would be the only Azorius, or Azorius-based player at the table. Being able to see some signals that were open was the only thing. Once the deck was built, it just steamrolled everything. Cause it's a mini constructed deck, and you'll see why. So this Avenging Arrow got 15th pick. This should not be 15th pick. This is probably 7th or 8th pick from a pack. It's solid removal. I like it. Next, I believe I took 2 of these, but maybe I'm only playing 1 because this is post sideboard after match. Yeah, I got to hold 2 Swift Justices. I'm a fan of them. Quick little combat trick. Giant Growth is by far the best combat trick in the set, in my opinion. But this does work. You have to just be wary if your opponent leaves up mana. Eyes in the Skies, solid, just 2/1/1s. Not the best in my deck, just because I didn't have Celestia, so it didn't populate all that much. I got not 1, but 2 Azorius Charms. This one was my pack 1, pick 4. This one was my pack 3, pick 1. So the signal was this one getting it 4th, and then this one was I had already committed to the Azorius, so I was like, okay. Sunspire Griffin was, I believe, pack 2, pick 2, something like that. It was a really weak pack, and I was like, okay, a solid 2/3 flyer is always good. I got the Cancel late. I got not 1, but 2 Paralyzing Grasps, and there's a reason why I prioritized taking these. I took these probably a little bit higher than I should, but there's this card that I wanted to build a deck, an Azorius-based control deck, once I had the idea of drafting Azorius and that it was open. So I took not 1, but 2 Paralyzing Grasps, and the reason was because of this card called Ethereal Armor. Ethereal Armor in a control-based deck is just so good. It's enchanted creature, it's +1/+1 for each enchantment you control him for a strike. So I actually got 2 at the end of pack 1, and then the guy to my left was like, oh, I might as well just take him, and he jumped into Celestia, and it made me sad. because I would have liked it very much more. Starting to where the deck gets stupidly insane. So I'd already committed to the Azorius. I had gotten a Hussar Patrol late. So I basically knew... Oh, and this new Prof Guild Mage I got 7th in that same pack. So it tabled, basically. 7th? 6th. 7th. The new Prof Guild Mage tabled. So that was a sign that I should jump into Azorius. That was like the continuation. So, pack 2, pick 1. I open this. For those of you that don't know, Martial Law, very good. Take it. It's quite a powerful bomb. You may notice that there's a Supreme Verdict. I got that pack 3, pick 3. Because by that point, no one had been Azorius, so they just passed it. And for some reason, they let me have it. So, yay, Wrath of God. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Hussar Patrols. I'm a huge fan of this guy. He does so much work on the ground. In fact, he had Vigilance, made it just a really good guy to slap an Ethereal Armor on, just beat face. Like, this plus Ethereal Armor won me probably most of the matches. I actually drafted 3 Void Wielders. Very powerful card. Does work. I sub them out based on how much scavenge they have, how many tokens they have, etc., etc. I got a Singleton Lee of Sky Knight, 5th, pack 2, I believe. Pretty late for this, so, you know, a gift. I got Tension Sphere. As I said, this deck is not a representation of me being a good drafter. It's a representation of, ooh, look, people let me win the draft. So yeah, I got a Detention Sphere. Pack 2, pick 2, I believe. It was nice. Got not 1, but 2 Guild Mages. Both of them were 7th pick. Yes, because I took the Detention Sphere over the Guild Mage, and then the Guild Mage tabled. It was just stupid. This was pack 3, pick 4. Skymark Rock. Not as good as I thought it was going to be initially, but still pretty powerful. A Syncopate. And I do have more cards that I drafted somewhere. They're in a box. I'm going to pull it up. Why not? Is it in this box? I think it might be in this box. Yep. So other cards that I took over the course of the draft. As I said, I was the only Azorius and basically the only blue drafter. So I also took a Stealer of Secrets that I considered doing. If you have a ton of Ethereal Armors, this is just such a beating. As I mentioned, my first 3 picks were Stab, Wound, Wild Beastmaster, and Annihilating Fire in that order. I didn't play any of them in my final deck. Here's the other Swift Justice. I took a Dispel because I knew I was in a weaker pod, and in my pod I know the people there. And I know they love their combat tricks. So I took a Dispel kind of early, probably earlier than I should have. Here you can see the other 2 Void Wielders. I also took a Stellar of Songbirds that just, I couldn't make it cut. Probably the cards that I kind of wish I could have fit Celestia was, I took 2 Phantom Generals, which did work because there were a ton of token decks running around. And then it's Tristani's Judgment, and then basically the rest was just filler. I just hate drafting. Basically Inspiration I considered for a second, but my deck was way too good for what it was. So I 3-0'd game match. I'm just giving a review. If you guys don't want to see any more of these, leave a comment below. If you do want to see more, leave a comment down below. Just so I know what you guys want to see. I got a request to do these sort of things, so I want to make content you guys watch. Game 1... Hussar Patrol plus Ethereal Armor plus Paralyzing Grasp equals, I had, plus a couple other enchantments, just beat face with the Giant First Striker with Vigilance, and he could just not beat it. Second game was basically the same thing. Round 2, just trumped him with value, and he was not, you know, the best player in the world. So he'd be like, oh look, I'm going. He has a 2/2 a trained Caracal, the 1/1 lifelink for one that's not that good. He'd be like, oh look, I'm gonna Common Bond it now, and Ethereal Armor. He made it like a 5/5. I'm like, okay, Azorius Charm, boom, 3 for 1, thank you. Or 2 for 1 plus Tempo, since technically the cat didn't go away forever. But it basically, that game 1 was just, you know, him getting blown out. Game 2 he plays Dreadbridge Goliath when I have Void Wielder and double Azorius Charm in hand, and I had just a 3/4 flyer. I had the Griffin with Ethereal Armor on it. So literally came down to swing with Griffin. He plays Goliath, I bounce it. Anytime he tries to attack, I just keep bouncing it. Then I waited for him to overcommit to the board. Supreme Verdict away everything he had, and then just won with the Lee of Sky Knight. Round 3, game 1, I got mana screwed and he beat me. Round 3, game 2, timely. Having just spot removal was good. And game 3 was he had 2 3/3 centaurs, so I detention speared them away. Then he commits to the board a lot, so then I wrathed, and then I played martial law, and then it just was like, okay, you play a creature, I'm just gonna keep detaining it, and then I'll play a Lee of Sky Knight and just win. Okay, let me know if this is the sort of thing you guys wanted to watch, or if there's anything else you guys want to see from me. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. And again, any content in particular that I may have done in the past that you guys want to see more of, just let me know. Send me a PM, leave it in the comments, and I want to make content you guys watch. Again, thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'm going to go sleep since it's midnight now. Toodles.